Hello guys and welcome to a brand new episode of the Football Heritage Podcast. Today we've got an array of topics to discuss. We're going to start with the Carabao Cup final. So we've just seen it happen today. What do you guys think of Liverpool winning the Carabao Cup?
Yeah, I think from like an overall perspective, I think it's a great one of the first parts of the send off for Jurgen Klopp. I think the passion was there to see. I think from what I've seen and read, it seemed like Chelsea actually had quite a good first 90 minutes, and then the extra time was where Liverpool came into their own. I think it's a good way for kind of Liverpool to get their season underway in terms of the run-in, and a lot of the youngsters came in and filled in for the big boys who were out. Did Salah play? Salah didn't play. Salah didn't play. So a lot of the youngsters came in and Bobby Clark and players like that. Quansah as well, was he involved?
Yeah, Quansah came on. Yeah.
So yeah, it was good to see. Obviously, Virgil van Dijk with the winner. Some sus celebrations from Tsimikas, I think.
What did he do?
Apparently, Van Dijk just laid on the ground with his legs open, and then Tsimikas came in, and then the rest of them just huddled on top. And it was a nice moment at the end when Klopp and Van Dijk kind of lifted the trophy together. I think it's we'll see what happens now. Obviously, they can do the fake quadruple with the Europa League.
That's a quadruple then Mourinho's one.
Yeah, exactly.
Community shit don't count.
Yeah, that's a fake quadruple. You know what the real quadruple is, but yeah, Josh, what did you think about it, man?
Obviously, I didn't watch the full game. I saw bits of it, and it seems like Liverpool and Chelsea always have quite cagey finals. But you know what? Looking at it, I'm kind of happy for Klopp in it. At least if he leaves, he definitely leaves with a trophy in it. You know, so that's fair on him, innit? For Chelsea, I think it's just a step in the right direction in terms of education. You know, being in the final, losing it. I think there's always stuff that you gain from losing from the final, innit? So I think from them, they shouldn't be too disheartened. But I think I was telling Denzel earlier, I do wonder what it means for Poch in terms of his future and, you know, where they're going. We obviously know where Liverpool are going. Klopp's leaving, and obviously that's going to be a big job for whoever comes in. But in terms of Chelsea as well, you know, obviously they've still got the FA Cup, but where are they heading towards, you know? Obviously they've got a lot of good young players, and, you know, we can see they've got a lot of potential, but, you know, it's about the present as well, you know, so...
Yeah, it's true. With the game, I'll be honest, I think first half was pretty boring. It was pretty lackluster. Nothing really happened. Liverpool, just a lot of injuries. Obviously, Gravenberch went off. The youth started to come on. I think, was it McConnell? Never heard of him, I'll be honest. Liverpool fans don't attack me because I don't care about your academy like that. But McConnell, and then was it Clark? Bradley started the game. And yeah, I think he ended up the game with like 6 academy players on the pitch. A lot of the commentary was Klopp's kids win the Carabao Cup. Like Josh made the point earlier that you could argue that Chelsea's team is full of kids as well, but
Expensive kids.
exactly, and the rebuttal to that would be it's very expensive kids, and that they're not really homegrown academy players. So I guess it's a big achievement.
Can we talk about that? Because I feel like in football now, we think because you buy expensive foreign players that they're as good.
Yeah.
Sometimes some of them are just overrated, you know. Like some of them are very overrated. Like I look at obviously let's not diverge too much, but I look at, remember the Chelsea team under Lampard? The academy players there, I'd argue, are probably better than some of the guys they're spending.
They're more verified, right?
Tammy's better than Nicholas Jackson. Tammy's better than Nicholas Jackson.
Yeah, probably.
I'd argue so.
And imagine, even if you're saying the difference is marginal, you're spending 35 million for someone you can get for free.
I'd also argue as well that Tammy had a good season the year before
from Aston Villa.
From Aston Villa, right? He had a strong season. I think Nicholas Jackson and Villarreal, was half a season he had?
That's what I'm saying. Like, these
guys
got
like 20 top flight appearances.
The only ones you can look at, Enzo isn't even like a deep veteran, but he's played in the World Cup final, innit? But even then...
Yeah, but even Enzo, he barely played at Benfica.
He had like half a season at Benfica. He only just came on the season in a year.
Yeah.
Caicedo as well. I think last season was the
first season in his Prem.
So
it wasn't. Last season wasn't his first
second season.
Second season.
Well,
it's kind of like his breakout season, I guess. That's a fair point. To be fair, you can create a better squad out of just the guys from Cobham than spending like 100 mil per 20-year-old or 19-year-old. Because Michaela Mudryk, that's been a stinky signing for being real. Obviously,
He doesn't even play.
He could come good. I doubt it. 100 mil for Enzo. He doesn't play like £100 million player. Casado, record-breaking transfer fee in the Prem. Not playing like it, to be fair. Yeah, it's just a lot of money wasted. Like, if you're gonna spend that amount of money, normally in today's market, that could get you the finished product. But they've spent 100 mil on players that aren't the finished product.
You know what? Nowadays, though, I know we're going away from the final a bit too much, but you see the transfer market. There isn't really like a parameter of when I buy this amount, I'm getting this. It's not like 2009. I spend 100 million, I'm getting Cristiano Ronaldo. Top 2 best player in the world. You get what I'm saying?
You can categorize each like 10 worth of 10. Like if you get to 80 million, you're thinking this is like
creme de la
really
creme,
world class. Yeah. Like 40 million a few years ago got you Mane, Salah, and Firmino.
Yeah.
Like
so, like nowadays, you look at there isn't any sort of criteria or barometer for. I'm getting a certified top class player. Even in terms of talent, like Mbappe went for 100 million, but you know Mbappe was the best young talent.
180?
Yeah.
But Mbappe was the best young player in the world. Like you're spending.
He was like the epitome of what.
If you look at that now, you could say his money was spent. I guess he didn't win on the Champions League, but you could say his money was. But yeah, it's true. The lines are blurred when it comes to player pricing and valuation because you got players like Anthony going for 80 million. I feel like you pay for the potential nowadays rather than the actual finished product.
You pay for what the clubs
say.
What
big clubs are doing now is they're seeing what smaller clubs are doing, where like they buy the player, develop them, then sell them onto a bigger club.
That's a stupid.
The bigger clubs, i.e. Madrid are doing it quite well. Where like they're signing the nearly finished article, where like. But we know that they're going to be...
It's because they want to build, isn't it?
But you see with Madrid, though, they already had Benzema. So you bring in Vinny, but you have Benzema, you got Modric, you got Cruz. You supplement the young talents with the established.
And the thing is with Madrid as well, they know when to move on players. They know when they're past their prime. Like,
look at Modric right now.
They fleeced us twice with Casemiro and Varane. To be like, I won't say fleeced. That's kind of harsh. But they got rid of Casemiro at the right time. They got rid of Varane at the right time. So they know when to sell their players and they know when to bring in new talent.
Everybody talks about they got Tchouameni, they got Camavinga, Valverde. Valverde's been there for like what 3-4 years.
Or something.
Camavinga's been there for like 3 seasons. Tchouameni, I think this is his second season. So it's like it's gradual, innit? You don't just break the squad apart, bring 20 young players and expect them to gel.
Like haven't Chelsea signed like players like was it Denzel Washington or something like that? And it's like
no Denzel. What's Denzel?
I know
David Washington.
David Washington. And then
you say David Washington.
Who's that? And then they've loaned half of them out again or something like that.
Yeah, that's what they do. That's what they do. And then there was Andros Santos. Or
Audrey Santos.
Yeah, and then he's like Forest now or something. No, wait. Then David Fofana as well. He's at Burnley now.
What happened to who's that set up? Wesley Fofana. What happened to him?
He's injured. He's always injured.
Like there's nothing wrong with investing into the future and buying young players, but you gotta understand how to supplement.
Oh, Chelsea's overkill.
Yeah, you're trying to act like Brighton, and we saw that even last year. Was it last season with Southampton where they bought loads of young players, but because you don't have the experience to supplement, don't understand it. Because as you grow as a footballer, you become better. You know how to use your skill set a lot better. When you're buying players that are just young, all naive, you're gonna got relegated.
I think Chelsea want to be Brighton,
but that's a stupid mindset to have.
Well,
because if they got Sam Jewell, well now they've got Sam Jewell, Potter. I'm pretty sure there's other people in the.
Some of the people are still there from Potter's reign.
Yeah, in the backroom staff and in the higher ups, there's people that have come from Brighton. But you're Chelsea, like, why are you trying to follow Brighton's model?
But you see, some fans will be talking about, look at how they scouted. And I understand there's a good point of scouting and nurturing young players, isn't it?
Yeah.
But remember, when you're Brighton, there's no pressure on you. There's no eyes. I remember people were talking about Evan Ferguson. Looks like a good all-rounded striker, innit?
Yeah. Now, this season he hasn't played. He's played a bit the same amount.
Because as a youngster, there's so much development and naivety. Like, in terms of the skill set and the quality the player has, you don't actually grow that much as a player. It's just the experience of understanding, okay, this is how I use my skill set. Yeah. This is how I use my pace. This is how I time my runs, innit? This is how you eventually learn and develop and become a seasoned pro, innit? So it's not necessarily you're buying a skill. You're just developing your understanding.
tactical nous,
Exactly.
I would say, yeah.
But when you're buying loads of young players and you're expecting them to gel together and stuff like that, it's not a smart. There's a reason why Brighton don't win trophies.
The only established players in Chelsea's team are probably Thiago Silva, Sterling,
Thiago Silva,
and maybe Chilwell.
That's it.
That's basically it.
Then you could argue Rich James.
And Nkunku's
But
pretty
Reece
established.
James.
Nkunku's pretty
Yeah,
established.
Nkunku's your best player, in my opinion.
James
He's
is
always
obviously
injured.
established, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Gallagher's pretty established.
What would
as
you
well.
say is some sort of success for Chelsea now? Because
You have to win that.
the issue with the Carabao Cup now is it's not the end of the season where you're done, you can reset. They've got to go again next week.
They have to win the FA Cup. There is nothing else.
They're not gonna win it though.
I mean, they got to Carabao Cup
Yeah,
final.
but I just think City.
We also see.
City.
Yeah.
I mean, what? They drew 1-1 with City. It's not like it's impossible.
Yeah,
for
the
them.
thing
Draw twice this season.
you know what? The thing I'll give to Chelsea is in the big games this season, in terms of the Prem especially,
They've got a couple of results.
They've performed well in terms of big games. Just today they couldn't get the job done against a bunch of kids. In Liverpool. In fact, that's a bit harsh to say. I guess like you got Liverpool, and I'll be real. The crowd pushed Liverpool on to win the game. Like they were doing a little sing song. I'm a United fan, so I can't stand them.
Oh, at the end of the end.
Yeah, no, even before, like during the match, like in extra time, they were, I'll be real. The Scousers they pushed the youngsters to
The Wembley crowd.
yeah. I don't like to say all those things because it kind of goes against all the like tactical knowledge of the game, but all that stuff does play a
Bro,
part.
that's a big part.
Yeah,
Especially,
exactly.
especially when the
It
game
does.
like
It does go into it, like
hasn't got much flow to it.
yeah,
Like,
the atmosphere, the surroundings, the crowd getting behind you. It does.
These are big things.
I feel like we do, as modern analysts of the game, we do kind of underestimate that. And when you do attribute it to that, people kind of think that you have no tactical analysis of the game. But in reality, things like that, it does make a difference. The crowd got behind them and they started playing because of when the first half was the end of regulation, the end of like normal regulation time. Chelsea were on top, and then they come in second half. They blow Chelsea away. To be fair, so yeah, it's one of them ones. But yeah,
Are you not happy for Klopp?
nah,
Even if
I
you're-
don't give a toss, man. I don't care.
Nah, I think there should be always a mutual respect you have for.
Yeah,
for
it was nice. I feel like they kind of copied United with that, the whole letting Klopp lift the trophy thing. It was a
I
bit.
said copy, man.
Yeah, they did like Sir Alex's thing, but you know what? I'm not gonna be a hater. I'm gonna stop hating. Yeah,
I think he was always gonna lift the trophy.
Yeah, it was a nice little moment. It was cute. It's cute. We'll see if he lifts the Prem. Hopefully not. Hopefully not City either.
You want Arsenal to win the league?
I'm not gonna say that on camera, but
Oh,
okay. We know United aren't gonna win. We know Spurs not gonna win. We know Villa not gonna win. It's a 3-horse race at the moment. So I'd rather Arsenal win than
Arsenal is good at the moment.
yeah. I'd rather them win than Liverpool and City.
You know what though? I feel like people are underestimating. I think Haaland's gonna come back into form. He's inevitable. He's gonna come back into form. And when he starts popping in, and obviously, let's see how KDB gets up to scratch. If them two are firing, because no one in the league has.
He's up to scratch. He's getting there. I think he's got like 10 goal involvements since he's come back.
But I'm saying if those two start to pop off in it, because I'm sorry, I don't think Foden's enough to really push you. But if those
So
two,
he
are,
has turned up for quite a few games already this season.
apparently so. Innit? But yeah, if those two come up, I think then it's City's to lose.
What do we actually? I want to get your thoughts on this. What do you guys think of the Sheffield United thing that happened earlier? Apparently,
Yeah,
two players started scrapping from Sheffield United.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I'll
Yeah.
be real. I
It's
haven't
good,
seen
man.
it.
That
If you got a bit of anger,
no, as in like they were properly at each other.
Yeah, but they're
Like-
going. Who cares about Sheffield? They're going down, man.
no, I think
that's
maybe,
probably
maybe,
why they're going down.
maybe you save that to the dressing room, innit?
Yeah, but they're going down. You can't be scrapping your players on pitch, but they're going down anyway, and I guess that kind of epitomizes it. But yeah, we're talking about structure and Brighton, I guess, a little bit. I could kind of link that to the INEOS takeover at United. We've got new owners. Well, minority shareholder. Well, in terms of individuals, he's the majority, but obviously he's still got the rotten Glazer family still lurking about. I can't lie. I'll be honest. I was pushing for the Qatar thing, but Jim's here now, and I'll be honest. Sir Jim's here now. I'll give him his respect. I liked what I heard, but obviously I'm supposed to like what I was hearing. Obviously he had the interview with MUTV and he had the interview with BBC as well. He spoke about the stadium, infrastructure, style of play. He tackled a lot of issues, and I feel like it's a bit refreshing because we haven't really heard that from the ownership. He spoke about the new stadium, saying he's more in favour of building a new stadium. He wants like a Wembley of the North. I think he wants government funding to build a new stadium. Yeah, he wants government public funding to build a 90,000 capacity. Because basically he was saying that Northerners and Southerners both pay tax. There's a Wembley, but there's nothing for the Northerners.
Oh, yeah.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
But he's a smart businessman. He's a billionaire. He's the richest man in the UK. So obviously,
Wembley's a multi-purpose stadium.
The thing is, in the interview, he was saying that the new Old Trafford would be a multi-purpose stadium too. Like it would be somewhere where England could play their games in the north. It could be somewhere where you could have other activities. Like you could host cup finals. You could host Champions League finals. Yeah, he wants that sort of thing. But the thing is, it's going to be owned by United though. So I don't know how.
That's what I'm thinking.
But if it's government funding, there will always be a bit of
If it's government funded, then
if it's government funded, then the government aren't going to fund the stadium for United, are they?
no.
It's unlikely. But we'll see what happens with that. Obviously,
Maybe the FA would have to get involved.
Yeah. The other option is you refurbish Old Trafford. A lot of people want that. Me personally, I don't.
That's gonna take time though, because you're gonna have like one stand being like.
Yeah, and the railway makes it difficult as well because there's a railway behind Old Trafford.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so it makes it difficult to like refurbish it and stuff like that. But you know, with the Old Trafford, I don't really.
So what are
wherever
what are
will
the
be
issues with
will
Old
be.
Trafford? It's leaking, isn't it?
Yeah, it's leaking. The roof is leaking. But there was an interview with David Gill went on the 5 podcast. Rio Ferdinand. He was saying the roof's been leaking for ages. Like even when Sir Alex
has
was
been
there.
going on for like decades.
But you know what it is? When you're winning, no one cares.
Yeah.
So because of we're winning, no one mentioned the roof.
If you're
leaking.
winning, you're not gonna mention the roof's leaking, are you?
Yeah, but I feel like with the new stadium, I'm open to a new stadium. But obviously, Old Trafford has a lot of heritage and history, so I'm open to them refurbishing it too. But I'm not really too.
I feel like they'll refurbish it. I just think they will.
so?
I think they will.
probably logistics.
But it will take ages.
I think yeah, like Josh was saying, the logistics is too difficult. I think he admitted in the interview that he would ideally
want to knock it down and start again.
Yeah. And I know they're refurbishing the whole Trafford area with Trafford Council, so there's that. He talks about infrastructure as well. Obviously, they've gone and got Omar Bereda from Man City, and they're currently trying to get Dan Ashworth from Newcastle.
Isn't that going to happen like next year though?
What, Dan Ashworth?
Yeah, because it's like
It
Newcastle
depends.
don't want to let him go.
We need to pay his compensation.
isn't
Yeah, they want 20 mil for him.
It's crazy.
Yeah, for a director of football, 20 mil is kind of crazy. But
Football's gone woke, bruv.
the argument that could be made is that director of football stops you from spending another 100 mil stupidly, so it could save you money. Because I think if Dan Ashworth's in the club,
Save you money,
I think if we have a director of football, we're not buying stupid players like Anthony for 80 mil. We're not like other clubs see Man United come and they know that they can fleece them.
Yeah.
Like we always overplay for players, so I think getting Omar Bereda from City was a big steal, and then getting possibly getting Dan Ashworth as well is big for the club. And I heard we're looking at Julian Ward as well.
Do you feel a little bit like? Do you feel happy that you're having to take kind of staff and people from above at City in order to kind of benefit yourself?
Yeah,
like, do you think that's nice? I don't think.
I'm happy about it, yeah, because look at City.
Yeah.
Look what City have done with a structure and
Do you
players.
feel like though, like it's kind of like, we have to steal one of our biggest rivals, like sporting director, in order for us to have somewhat of a chance of getting back to where we were.
Yeah, but I'm not really mad at it because of obviously Sir Jim's talked about this whole best in class motto that INEOS has been pumping about, where they want the best person in every single role in the club. So they want the best sporting director, they want the best CEO. Yeah. You have to go. Well, if you look at it, City have been the best club in the
Yeah,
world.
they got the best of everything.
Exactly. So you have to go and poach from City. Dan Ashworth obviously he did work in the FA as well. Like kind of not. I won't give him all the credit, but he helped and oversee the under 19s winning it, the under 21s winning the World Cup. The women's doing well as well. So he's got a good CV on him. The only thing is he doesn't really stay at clubs for that long. Obviously, jumped ship with Brighton, then jumped ship again.
He'd have to commit.
Yeah, he has to, I guess. But yeah. So there's that. There's the style. The really interesting thing was when he spoke about style of play. I thought that was really interesting because he said, we're going to develop a style of play. We're going to agree to a style of play and the manager has to adhere to that style of play. I think that's a smart way to go about things because he spoke about, obviously, you've had Mourinho in the past who plays very defensive. You've had Van Gaal. You've had David Moyes. You've had Ole. So all these managers have different styles of plays. They've come in and had to completely revamp the squad. If you have a squad that you know is for a certain style of play, then switching managers will be a lot easier.
So
okay, so he made it at a point like he doesn't want to commit to a certain manager yet. But he wants to have one style of play.
A lot of people were saying, oh yeah, it's bad for Ten Hag, but I don't think it's bad. I just think it's logical. Like, having a club identity and a style of play makes it easier. Say if a manager's not doing well, you can sack the manager, get a new manager in, and you won't have to completely change the whole squad because that manager plays the same style of play as the other manager.
Yeah.
So I think it makes sense. Like,
so is he trying to build like a heritage club, like an Ajax?
I guess,
Barcelona?
yeah, he wants,
Barca,
He wants a United DNA style of play, which it makes sense to me.
But that DNA can also backfire on yourself, where
it could.
if you do need to transition, then it becomes very difficult.
Yeah,
Because then your fan base and also like people are above, they won't align.
I don't know if I agree with all that idea of style of play. I think every generation, there's always an adaptability and always. It's not even anything. You have to be adaptable. You look at Barcelona. I wouldn't say Barcelona necessarily play.
They don't play how they did 10 years ago.
Exactly. You could say that's to their detriment.
It's backfired on them. Look at what's happened to Xavi.
But at the same time, when they were playing, they started to get blown away by teams. Like Liverpool, Roma. I wouldn't even say they were playing the tiki-taka under like Valverde per se, but I don't necessarily think you need to.
Valverde was harsh to get rid of him.
It definitely was, isn't it? But I don't necessarily agree with a style of play. I think they're just principles that you just need to be successful in football. You get what I'm saying?
So for United, that would be fast, powerful running, getting straight to the front. Like
I guess that's what made them successful.
That's what you would associate with
Wing
United.
play,
Wing play, basically.
that is United.
Getting out to the wingers quick.
Because there are some hereditary things that stay in certain clubs, and there's certain things that when a successful manager comes, they kind of leave a sort of a legacy. Like Wenger with Arsenal will always leave that quick 1-2 sort of football. Fergie was direct. Quick football.
Liverpool high press.
Yeah, you know the ones. So you can say that, but I don't know. Look at Madrid. Madrid don't necessarily.
Madrid don't have one, do they?
But Madrid's.
Their DNA is just winning.
But they're just adaptable. I feel like they just have many different
They've
adaptable.
always had quite adaptable managers, I think.
Yeah.
So what do you think this means for like Ten Hag? I think personally it gives him kind of like, because I think what Ten Hag wants is to get back to how he was playing at Ajax. In the long term, I mean that's what he wants to do.
Yeah, that's what he wants. But he said that he can't do that because it's a different club or whatever. That's what he said, not me. But he said, "Oh, I can't play the same way because I don't have the same players." You can still play positive.
It's important that he has a strong end to the season.
Yeah, right now it's a bit negative. Obviously, we lost yesterday. We're not gonna make top 4. A lot of how much we can spend in the transfer window as well is based on FFP and FSR now, financial sustainability rulings. I'll be honest, we need Arsenal and City to do well in Champions League, and we need
to get an extra spot.
Yeah, we need.
Currently, Serie A are going to get it, aren't they? At the moment, I think Serie A are most likely to get a coefficient. Whatever it is.
I think it's us and Serie A. I think we could see Bayern going out of Champions League, so we have to hope that the German clubs don't do well and the Spanish clubs don't do well. But also it looks at Europa as well, and it looks at Conference League too. Yeah. So if Villa win Conference League, you guys do well in Europa League. Liverpool. Brighton, Liverpool do well, and that's highly likely that one of you three will win it. I think. Then it also helps for the 5th place spot. But we kind of have to hope that the other English teams kind of bail us out. And even then, we still got Spurs that are in front of us as well. Villa. So yeah, I think Villa will get 4th. It's between us and Spurs for the 5th place spot. And that's dependent on what other clubs do in Europe. So it kind of takes a year out of the process if you don't get that European spot.
Our times have changed. Man said it used to be race for top 4, now it's race for 5th.
Yeah.
It's race for top 8. Because you've got your Conference League as well.
Yeah.
Damn,
it's kind of getting... this sounds likely, but I feel like there's a good chance. If you're not like at the bottom of the league, there's a very good chance you could be fighting for like eighth place, seventh
European
place.
football,
Yeah, which is it's nice, but
Yeah. Speaking of European football and Conference League, you're in Europa League.
Europa League now, baby.
Europa League. David Moyes.
Oh,
Looks like he's gonna be staying, bro.
yeah. Apparently, we've offered him the contract before the Forest game on the weekend, so it's in his hands, which I find a bit weird that you would give. Obviously, the club didn't know that we were going to start January so poorly, but you give basically the manager has all the power, even though we haven't won a game all year. So we got to December, we had our highest points total after I think 20 games ever in the Premier League. I think it was like 33 or something, maybe not 20 games, something like that, and we haven't won a game all year since January. We found out we got Freiburg in the Europa League. So we had them in the group as well, which I found weird. We can have the same team that we had in the group stage in the...
That don't make any sense.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know how it's happened. I think it's to do with like the pots and stuff because it's...
No, it's because in Europa League they play around a 32, innit?
Yeah, so then
probably...
we skipped around, basically.
I think they...
Because you won the group, innit?
Yeah.
That's weird. Where did they finish second?
Yeah.
So they had to play a third place team in Champions League, so that's probably why. So if you might have expected the third place Champions League place team to beat Freiburg, but they probably beat them, so they've gone through. Yeah. So
so we're shambles a little bit. I can't lie because we've let Fornals go, we let Ben Rama go, we've made our squad worse. We brought nobody in. We let Kira go as well. Our squad's gotten worse. We're having to play Ben Johnson at left wing, who hasn't got a touch to save his life. Antonio can't stay fit. Ings is finished. Like, I don't even know what to say. We can't rely on Kudus and Burton to bail us out. And even against Arsenal, non-existent. We got demolished. Right. Forest, pretty non-existent. So our only hope now is Paqueta when he comes back. If he comes back and he has some sort of impact on the team, we might be able to salvage the season. But we're just dropping points left, right, and centre.
Why do you guys hate Moyes so much?
I don't hate Moyes.
But I'm seeing... Okay, I won't say hate. Hate is a strong word. Why is there such a disdain towards Moyes in the fan base at the moment?
Do you know what it is? The last few years, I think we've become...
Spoiled.
Maybe spoiled, but like it doesn't help as well that in interviews with Moyes always plays down all of our achievements. So he plays down like, oh, no other... Like, he kind of says like, no other manager's going to finish 6th and 7th in the league or win a European trophy or get to a semi-final of the Europa League. No manager's going to do that, but I have. So he's kind of like, he's asking for like that kind of like, give me forgiveness, give me chance, give me like a chance here to kind of keep going. But I don't know. And half our fan base is kind of like for him, and also half our fan base can't decide how we want to play.
Yeah,
like we've become accustomed to since lockdown football, right? When he kept us up to staying back, working hard, going a goal down and coming back, or when Yarmolenko scored that goal against Chelsea 3-2 and we stayed up. From then on in, it's been very much like us against everyone else. Like we've stayed up, we've had a few good performances, but we've not. Like we'll be playing against like the bottom teams and they'll be dominating us, and it's like, should that really be happening for a team that's meant to be? It's kind of like what you were saying before about like the United way, like a team when we moved to the London Stadium, we were going to be, the European nights, which we have. To be fair, the last 3 seasons we've had some great nights at the London Stadium, but our fan base needs to decide. Okay, if we're going to commit to a manager, and also our board as well, like kind of like what you said before, if we're going to play a certain way and we're going to commit to Moyes, let's invest and not let players go and not have a plan for January. It's honestly, it's ludicrous that we've let players go and we leave things to the last minute. And if we get any injuries, I reckon we're going to slip and slide. Maybe 12th, maybe 10th.
Do you feel like with West Ham, do you feel like you've reached your ceiling? Or is it's because of it's like with West Ham, you've achieved so much under Moyes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of outside perspective views that like, why are you getting onto him? It's just a case of you've reached a ceiling.
I think.
Do you feel like another manager will come in and push you and break that ceiling?
Potentially, yeah.
I
think he's reached how much he can do at the club. Like if he stays on, I wouldn't be too upset. because he's kind of earned it, but the form has been atrocious. Like, we went out to Bristol City in the cup. We couldn't even beat them at our own gaff. We had to go there and get locked. We lost 1-0 to them in the cup, in the FA Cup. Like, it's not good enough. So we'll see. For his own career, it's good that he's got this kind of decision where he can be like, oh, I can stay at West Ham if I want to. If I want to move on or take a break, I can do that as well. So for him, he kind of deserves that, I think. But for West Ham going forward, I think it's probably best if both parties kind of separate, because we could potentially in the summer be looking at, someone could offer Bowen a mad deal. Probably not, because he's not anybody. I don't know. Someone could. You could see someone just like making
Liverpool with Salah goes maybe. I think Salah.
or more so Kudos and Paqueta.
Yeah, I want Kudos.
And then
but I think
one.
I think it's a 10 anyway. Personally.
But then also, if you look at clubs like Wolves and Southampton who have made Europe in the past, look what's happened to them.
Yeah. That's the thing.
West Ham have actually kind of had some stability. Brighton won. We'll see what happens to Brighton. Because then everyone's gassed about them.
Newcastle, we'll see what happens.
Newcastle, I think we can expect them to be there
Why?
or thereabout.
Why?
Because of the investment.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is the thing with
And
Newcastle.
The development
I'm gonna get onto Newcastle because I have a strong disdain for them. I feel like they're forcing a fake rivalry with us, and it's getting them.
What's this about?
Have you not seen the Newcastle fans all over? They're like forcing a rivalry with United. Like, did you see a picture after they beat us? They're like, oh, who's that team you call United? Ever since then, they lost like most of their games. Newcastle, like, they're just forcing this rivalry, and it's cringe to me. It's so cringe. Like, you're the little new United team. Relax. But they can't. The thing is, the era of oil money coming in and you just completely blowing everyone out of the water is gone.
Yeah,
because the FFP. The thing is, you've seen it. They've got all the money in the world. They've got the richest owner in the world. They can't do nothing.
Yeah.
Like, they can't do anything because of, like, even their talks. They have to sell Almiron. They're gonna have to sell Joe Linton as well, and possibly Isak in the summer, just so they can
balance the books.
Exactly, like. Yeah. But we're talking like all that FFP stuff is kind of put a whole. That's why I wasn't too upset about the whole Qatari thing as well, because I'm thinking even if the Qataris come into United, they've got a ton of money. You won't even be able to spend it. Well, in fact, with United you can because of the amount of money that we make. But Newcastle, you guys are still a small club. You don't make money. So you can't spend the money because of the new financial sustainability rules.
But they can make up all them sponsorships. Like
yeah, that's the only... But
there's
you're going to pay for it in the end. We've got City with 115 charges. You never know. You might get charged, might not get charged. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that.
I mean, it's inevitable that Chelsea and City get charged.
I don't think they're going to get charged. I don't think they're going to.
Ethically, they should be.
Yeah.
But they'll probably something will happen. Well, they'll probably just get the most expensive lawyers that they can get and just,
Yeah, they're richer than the Prem in that sense. So yeah.
Wait, before we move on, so going back to that West Ham, but also the sort of the scalability of let's say mid-table clubs, there is a ceiling for clubs.
But I also feel like right now, more than ever before, there's so many clubs that have a chance of getting kind of upper mid-table now.
I think obviously because of the money in the Premier League.
And also there's not much difference between like, I don't know, like if you go between like Brentford for example, they've had a slight dip this year, but you'd still back them to beat give most of the other 14 teams a good game. Maybe the top 6 might struggle, but they can give most teams a good game. So in that aspect, 8th and 7th is achievable for many of those upper
It's true.
Upper echelon.
And obviously we're seeing with Aston Villa.
Villa took a meteoric rise, but we could see this coming because their owners even when they got promoted and they stayed up the year before Jack Grealish left. There was rumblings because they spent 100 million that year. Do you remember when they brought in Kamara?
They've spent a lot since
they've come back. They've spent a lot, so you could see that kind of coming. But then it can also go the other way. Everton a few years ago, remember when they were 4th under Ancelotti? Now look at them.
Yeah.
So,
like you said with Southampton were a team that were doing.
Southampton are a perfect example. They had, remember that we see it all the time on social media. That team that they had with Pella, Mane, Van Dijk, Shaw, Bertrand, all these guys getting 7th, 6th, or was it something like that? 6th. Was it the Leicester year when they came 6th or something?
Yeah.
And now that
I think you know what the best example actually to look at
it could be Leicester.
No, it's not Leicester. It's Stoke City. Tony Pulis had them safe, primed Premier League team. They went to Mark Hughes, they bought Bojan, bought Arnautovic. Who else? Shaqiri. Alifi, whatever.
Affiliate.
You know the ones where
From what is it, Barca?
Yeah.
Dutch guy, wonder kid.
I would never begrudge a team for trying to better themselves and improve and maybe try and evolve, innit?
Players were more when you had those sorts of players. People were like, wow, like Boyan, like Barca wonder kid, who's labelled the next Messi.
Like Brighton with Fetty.
He was supposed to be Messi before Messi.
Yeah.
No, after. Messi was already.
What do you mean?
Messi was already about.
He's only a couple years younger than Messi.
Yeah,
Messi was younger than. So he was supposed to be the arm.
Yeah.
It was meant to be like the next.
He only made a few appearances for Barcelona and they shipped him off.
But my point is, when you're trying to force. Yeah, they bought Adam as well.
Yeah.
When you're trying to force this evolution to be this stylish, tiki-taka sort of team. It's not always crazy.
Stoker just their DNA is Brexit ball. Same thing with Burnley as well. We're seeing it now. In fact, then again, company's done a good job.
Yeah.
But you just feel
No, I feel like
though. Do you know everyone? I don't know if this is social media, but it's like perceived good football is if you pass it a lot, you're perceived to have good football. But if you play lots of long balls, that's perceived as either Brexit ball or boring ball or whatever.
it always depends on what it is.
I don't get it.
I'll tell you something. Look at who's Pep's got in his back four. Kanji, Stones,
They're all centre
Diaz,
backs who are 6
Ake.
foot tall.
This is what Tony Pulis used to do back in the day. But
Because
because Pep does it,
everyone loves it.
look at Arsenal with Arteta. Set pieces, scoring headers, beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, they got a set piece manager. Wasn't that Sam Allardyce's thing?
Liverpool have one of the most long balls in the Premier League for the last.
Wasn't that
8 years?
Sam Allardyce's thing? Tony Pulis' thing.
Chris Wilder with the overlapping centre backs. Oh, would you look at it now when Ake and Gavardio go forward and stuff like that?
That's what I'm saying about this style of play. I understand it. I think you should always try and be forceful. So in terms of when people talk about pressing, pushing your opponents back, I think there's always principles that are important to have in football, no matter what generation. And I just feel like now we're just so enchanted with all these fanatical words about doing these sort of things.
Inverted roles.
It's like, bro, there's just principles that you need in football to be successful. You need to be strong. You need to win your duels.
You need to run.
Bro, physicality
strength,
is so important.
Press,
it's
tackle, be hard and tackle, be strong.
And then obviously being comfortable on the ball, moving it forward, moving it in space. Understanding the ball moves faster than your feet instead of always trying to dribble. Quick passes, movement. There's just basic principles that are needed in football.
What style you're playing,
exactly. But obviously there are variations. Barcelona is different to, let's say, Real Madrid. So there are variations, but I just feel like sometimes we get a bit too excited, and that's why I'm saying with West Ham. I feel like I understand in terms of there's an enjoyment you want to have when you're watching your team, innit?
Yeah.
Even outside of just winning, just watching and saying, oh, under Slavan Bilic when you had Payet, you're just like, wow, we were just so fun and great to watch, innit? There's a memories, innit?
It was street football.
Exactly. So I understand that, but there's also a sense of you should also be happy to win as well. So I think it's just finding the balance, innit? So if you're willing to lose,
I'm not disheartened by what I see with Moyes, because the way I look at it is, I've said this before a million times, is like sustainable football will get you results. When you're at the bottom of the league, you just want to get results. You don't care how you get them. But when you start progressing, you want to see a style of play. And with Moyes, like, bear in mind we've lost one of our best players of the 21st century. We've lost like, we've had a lot of injuries and stuff like that. But like, the principles have genuinely stayed the same, which you can admire Moyes for that, but it also backfires on him. So fair play to him. He stayed committed to how he wants to play, his principles. Like, let's not lie, against Big Six teams, you know how we're gonna play. We're gonna have 20% possession. Like, we're gonna play on the counter attack.
But that's how most people play against Big Six teams.
But Moyes has never, ever shied away from that. Even when he was like that season when he was
but that's
and that was probably to his detriment at United.
In fact, to be fair, some people still try to play their football.
Yeah, we won't.
But that's the thing. Do you feel like it's better to try playing your football against the big teams, or
I would prefer to play my football, but
and lose and get absolutely pumped 6-0?
I'm not get pumped, but play a mid block and kind of transition the ball.
I think number one is always about player quality.
Yeah.
People try and say, try and play your own football. If you're Burnley, so look at Company, naivety in terms of we're trying to play our football.
So I'd argue that Company's probably gone too far the other way.
Well, he is trying to, that's the example that people like to say about playing their football. You don't have the players. I know people are in love with managers. I'm sorry, in football, number one is player quality. The players that you have will push you.
Will determine how far
exactly.
you do,
obviously the manager's there to help.
Burnley
and
are one of
supplement.
the youngest teams in the league, aren't they?
Yeah,
they got
so-
rid of everybody from the Sean Dyche era, basically. Probably like Jack Cork or something like that. But like, but now look at them. They can't even string a result.
Obviously, Sean Dyche was a great example of maybe managers pushing up teams up to a level.
Yeah, pushing above their weight.
Yeah.
I think with Burnley though, maybe they went up a bit too early. Because if you can see in the championship, you can see what company was building.
So what's Luton's excuse? Because you can say Luton's got a worse team.
But Luton aren't trying to play the style of play that
So
Burnley are playing.
that's the point, innit? You adapt to your
And
environment.
Luton are playing
Yeah, but
similar to
you
how
can
they
see
were
that
playing
you
in
can
the Championship.
No,
you can
but-
see that company doesn't want to do. No, the thing is, Burnley were playing that same football in the Championship, but he just thinks that he can come into the big Premier League and it's going to translate.
But-
It's not going to translate. With Luton, they play a more pragmatic style of football
Yeah,
than.
they really
In fact, to
so-
be fair, I actually think Luton played pretty good football.
They do.
Like when they played against us, they
But
dominated
But they're
us.
very aggressive, very.
Yeah, like
You know them
we've got a
They
tight,
utilise
narrow
their wing
pitch.
backs really good.
We're gonna attack you.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it uncomfortable.
But
for you.
isn't that what a manager's job? You're meant to utilize the players to the best of their
Like,
capabilities,
Yeah.
not based on
they're
what
playing Ross
you
Barkley in a deeper role. They've got, is it Chong as well?
Yeah, Steve Chong,
He's
yeah.
playing as like an inverted like winger as well.
Yeah.
Like,
I just think some managers are very too much.
Rob
on
Edwards has
their
done a good
ideas.
job.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens this season, Rob Edwards has done a good job.
I don't like the comment he made.
What did you say?
Oh, it's Man United, so they add on 6 minutes. And I was like,
That's
what the
fine.
hell are you talking about?
That's
Like,
funny.
But
what is he on about? Like, there's been so many times they've added on 9 minutes. We're leading, we concede. Well, like, it's happened. Like,
But
it's
you
just
know
he's
where-
just saying that
happened the
for
other day,
just
didn't
to
it?
But
Yeah,
you know
that's
where
against
that
Fulham.
that comes from though.
what the media.
No, about extra
Big
minutes.
six
Oh,
Five.
what Fergie time and all that. No, this is get a grip, man. Like you lost the game, get over it. Like
Yeah, but-
I don't,
but then- but
I
then the
don't
funny
like it
thing
when
is-
managers
the
because
funny thing is-
it negates the fact that you've kind of taken away from the fact that you had a good performance against United side. Arguably, you had a better chances, played better football. But
that's why
coming
he's-
in crying about 6 minutes being added on. What
But
the
that's
hell are
why
we
he's
talking
annoyed.
about here?
That's why he's annoyed, because he feels like he deserved the result. His
But you didn't
performance
know.
warranted
But
the
he's
result.
complaining, saying, "Oh, they added 6 minutes, only 6 minutes because it's
So-
United." What the hell does
So,
that mean?
For example, right?
It's just a crappy
For
excuse
example, yes,
for not getting a
when
result.
You lost against Fulham.
Yeah,
I didn't watch the game, but you played badly, right?
yeah, we're awful.
Yeah.
In fact, no. I'll be honest. I think we weren't the level in performance.
Really good.
They were. I'll be honest. No, they weren't.
They
They
deserved the
weren't.
win.
You could say that.
Yeah. So when your team,
But
when
you know
your
what it
team
is?
deserves to win,
I
you've got to hold your hands
don't
up,
think
like.
we played better against. I think we played better against Fulham, arguably.
They didn't
Obviously,
get suited.
the only missing pieces we didn't have Hoyland, so a lot of that hold up play and link up play, and that I don't think there was that much of a difference in performance, if I'm being honest. But just like I feel like he kind of did his players a disservice with moaning about the added time, but. It was a bit petty. It was kind of like Thomas Frank last season, where he's like, "Oh, it's Man United. They should be beating us." Right? When clubs do that, when managers do that, it gets on my nerves. Like they just always try to pull the Man United card. They don't do it against Liverpool. They don't do it against other big six clubs. So it's United, but
Should we move on to Syria?
yeah,
Quick jump on that. Or even on
yeah, we can quickly talk about that.
Yeah.
Milan, Inter, innit?
Inter top by like 8 points.
Fair distance,
Inzaghi
yeah.
manager, isn't it?
Zaga's the manager.
Doing very well.
I look at their team. Their team don't really shout too much. I like
Yeah,
They're
Barella.
just solid. They're
I like
just
Barella,
solid.
yeah.
Like,
I don't really like
Do you
it.
feel like the quality's decreased in comparison to last season?
I mean, they replaced what? Dzeko with Turan.
Yeah, Thuram is
That's
doing
for free. Right.
Yeah, Thuram's a
Got
good one.
Pavard in for Skriniar.
yeah.
Decent signing that is. Like, they're just solid. Like,
Yeah, I don't think too much is going on there. to
they
be
should
honest.
do. Who have they got in the? They've
Champions
got Atletico
League.
Madrid. They've got 1-0 lead over
Yeah,
Atletico
yeah,
Madrid.
yeah.
So I could see them,
What
just
doing?
getting through that. They're just a solid team. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they get through and get to at least another semi-final, maybe a
Yeah.
quarters.
What's happened with Napoli though? Obviously, you change your manager.
They've fallen off.
Yeah.
Have they changed your manager twice or just once?
I think they sacked the manager again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they've changed managers twice
They
since.
drew today against Cagliari. 1-1.
Obviously, we were talking about Osimhen last week, isn't it? About how.
Yeah, he scored today.
Yeah, but
So
I think he's gone. We won't go into that.
Yeah, no, it was obvious when he signed the contract that he's got.
there's a release clause in there.
Yeah,
I wonder how much it is though.
It's 100 or something. Isn't it?
150, I think.
Where do we think he goes?
I said Chelsea.
It's either Chelsea or PSG.
Yeah, you said
I
PSG.
think,
I said
I
Chelsea.
think I can just see PSG.
Yeah,
No, but you know Nigerians, they like England, and I
Yeah.
think he would want to go
yeah.
to the Premier League.
He should go to Arsenal, but I could see the Chelsea thing. It just feels like something Chelsea would do.
Yeah, it's Chelsea.
Like,
I think
his
he'll go
career, he
Chelsea.
should go to Arsenal.
Yeah, I think we'll go Chelsea. UCL talk as well. I think I'm not loving it.
People are saying it's boring. And also, I saw the other day that people are saying, oh, they should bring back the away goal rule. And I'm not too... I don't know. I think, personally, ethically, should you be given an extra goal?
No, but that's what made the.
That's what
Champions
made it
League-
amazing.
People say maybe
The thing is,
it's
when
not-
it,
doesn't
you know what
sound
it
right
is.
in my
When
head.
it goes your way, you love it.
Yeah.
When it goes against you, you hate it. It's like VAR. Like it's either
The
you love it.
VAR fundamentally should be in the game. We need VAR.
Yeah,
The
but
right foot
need
to
goals.
get the
it's
right
just,
decision.
but then you get silly decisions like today, for example, Van Dijk's first goal getting disallowed. It shouldn't
Why
have
was
been
it disallowed?
because of I think
Endo.
Endo was offside
He was
and he
interfering with the
interfered
player,
with play.
yeah.
It's stuff. It's so dumb.
I'm not a big fan of the offsides.
I think
it's just-
That's more the rule.
and it's subjective as well.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The decision is subjective. So that's the issue I have with
I think with the
Yeah.
Champions League going back, I think the Super League's probably had a bit of an effect in terms of the whole debacle.
This is the last season of this.
of this format because they're going to the Swiss.
format.
Yeah, next season.
I think that's probably had a bit of a debacle, and I just think it's just people, Twitter hooligans, just talking stuff, saying this and that. You know, when their team
Maybe because of the big teams aren't in. Well, you got City and Arsenal, but I think maybe if Liverpool and United will still win there.
Every single game
more
in
attention.
the first round of fixtures was 1-1, 1-0, apart from the City game and
Because
the PSG
there's
game.
been a huge decline. There was one season, I can't remember what season it was. Every single game in the knockout stage, there was drama. But obviously, you still
It might
got.
have been the Ajax year. Maybe
Yeah.
something like that.
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was that. It was the year. There was the United comeback against PSG.
I think it was the Ajax one.
Is that the same season?
Is that when Marcus Rashford
Yeah,
was
the
being
penalty.
compared
Yeah.
to Mbappe?
Wasn't that
Yeah.
18-19?
Yeah, I think that
That's it,
season,
yeah.
that season had so many crazy
The year
moments.
before Frankie de Jong left.
Yeah. So I feel like, but the thing is, we haven't had the second legs yet. So the second leg is where all the craziness happens, all the madness happens.
I mean,
But I just
Bayern, for example, they have to win against them, so they have to pull it back.
I think because obviously sometimes in previous years you would have a big clash in the round of 16.
The only
Yeah.
big clash we really have is Inter Atletico, maybe.
In Atletico aren't peak Atletico from 2016.
but that's probably
either.
the biggest game on
Yeah,
paper
so-
that we have.
I think that's probably another thing. There isn't any
Napoli,
mouth-
Barca, maybe Napoli have fallen off.
Maybe if it was Napoli last season,
Yeah.
and then Barca of last
But even
season.
Napoli, they are, of all the Italian teams, they've never ever. I don't think there's a stat about them that's like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just, it's just not really as
They
interesting.
never won the Champions League, I think.
What, Napoli?
No, I don't think they have. I don't think they have.
Inter,
Inter have, AC have.
I think those are the only three.
Juventus haven't won that.
Juventus won the.
No, years
know.
ago.
But yeah, I don't. Yeah, I guess it has. It's just the entertainment value of it's decreased, but that's why they're changing the format. I guess.
Apart from probably City and Madrid, who are our favourite?
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Yeah, Arsenal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was going to ask you if you think Arsenal could.
Once they lost the first leg, I saw their fans like, just going into mass hysteria.
It's 1-0.
Chill out.
You'll be
You're
alright.
gonna win at the Emirates. Calm it down. Like, I'm seeing so much.
Especially because there's no away goals as well. If there was away
Yeah.
goals, you would be a bit more.
Yeah, just
Well,
relax,
well,
man.
I
You'll
did
be
play well,
fine. You'll be fine. Like, calm down. Yeah.
Paul have this habit of like every year, just they just find their way through. Like Pepe's still playing, players like that.
Crazy.
Yeah, he's like 4 years old.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we've covered all the topics, guys.
Yeah, I think that's everything.
So yeah. Oh yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and yeah, we'll be looking to upload more regularly. But yeah, thank you. Peace.